I need to fix that. Send this out. Come on in. I hope that y'all are well. Happy Feminine Friday. Come on in, come on in, come on in. Make sure I'm sending this out. I hope that y'all are well. Put a 1 in the comments if you can hear me clearly. Come on in, come on in. I hope that y'all are well. Where are y'all watching from? Where are y'all watching from? I was just watching a video from your course. Which one? Which one were you watching? Hi, come on in, come on in. I hope that y'all are well. Happy Feminine Friday. I'm so excited, y'all. Because I haven't been on in a while, so I missed y'all. I ain't even gonna lie. I've definitely missed y'all. Come on in, come on in. I said I was gonna go live yesterday, but I was so tired. I didn't realize how tired I was, and I woke up very, very sore because I had a great workout yesterday. The Radiant Muse Revenue System. Oh, that's a good one, honey. And that's a good one because that's not available anymore. So I'm glad you got it when you got it. Come on in, come on in. Today we're talking about, okay, why we need to, how can I say this? Or stop attracting from chaos, okay? And I'm going to tell you why it's not working. A lot of you are attracting from chaos, okay? And a lot of you are attracting from chaos because you don't realize that you are a magnet. Okay, it's okay. It's going to be on YouTube later, but it's probably not going to be on YouTube long, so make sure you catch it. Okay? Yeah. I need y'all to stop. Hey, Lovey. And I saw your offer this morning. I'm really excited about it. If you guys know anyone who is dealing with endometriosis, Dr. Eli, the amazing Dr. Eli over here, has a program that you can come into. It's a 90-minute intensive, actually. I'm sorry, let me correct myself. It's a 90-minute intensive, and it's one-on-one, and she really gives a lot of value. So go over there and check her out, okay? All right, so today specifically, we're going to be talking about how you need to stop attracting chaos, okay? The reason why a lot of women don't realize that the things that they're calling into their life experience is because they don't realize that they're magnets. Okay, you are a magnet. If you don't know that you're a magnet, let me put you on game. So it talks about in scripture how so a man thinketh in his heart, so is he, right? Around your heart, your heart in general sends out a vibration. Okay? It's sending out a vibration. And the vibration that's being sent out, people are responding to, right? So it's drawing people into like your ecosystem and your atmosphere. Always never forget this, okay? Always never forget. I meant to say it like that too. Always never forget that the woman sets the atmosphere, the woman sets the tone, okay? The woman sets the atmosphere, the woman sets the tone. So when you are sending out whatever is in your heart outward, it is radiating and people are coming into your space, right? Who you entertain is what confirms, or who you entertain confirms what is in your subconscious mind and how you really feel about yourself. This is why you will see women and people will be like, oh my gosh, she's so amazing, she's so this, or he's so that, he's so this. Why is he or she with her? When they treat them like XYZ. Well, it's because whatever is in their subconscious mind is continuing to be confirmed in that relationship. So you lack understanding there. You are only seeing it from one perception. So this is why you see a lot of women that are extremely beautiful. And you're like, how could she be with somebody like that who would do this and would do that? Well, you don't know what that woman is telling herself at night. You don't really know what her self-esteem is like. You don't really know what's going on with her. And I think sometimes that we tend to forget that what you may value, another person may not necessarily value as much anymore. Because sometimes when we have things within us that people tend to normalize, right, as just something you just have, you begin to think that it's an elementary experience. Thank you, my love, for these gifts and these likes and these comments. And what I mean by you think it's an elementary experience is that you will think that just because it comes easy to you, it's nothing to somebody else. It's not of real value. But see, this is what happens when you live in a society who tends to always make you feel smaller and not really tell you who you truly are, okay? For those who don't know who I am, for those who are joining me, my name is Elle Antoinette, and I am an energetics and identity mentor. And so what I do specifically, okay, is support my amazing clients in the following way. I guide very, very powerful women to master their energy, to embody their true identity, and so that they can magnetically attract success, intimacy, and leadership and influence without burning themselves out. A lot of the women that you see walking around that are extremely powerful or that make a whole lot of money, a lot of those women also fell victim to a lot of these movements that say that you need to hustle, you need to exhaust yourself. And now a lot of these women are burning out and choking in these positions. I can't tell you how many like high level CEOs, women who have made a whole lot of money, right? I can't tell you how these women have done it based on performance, and now they've gotten to the point to where they cannot perform anymore. Okay, well, you're in the right place, Michelle, girl, because we're gonna get into it today, and then I have some options to be able to support you. Okay, so in my work as an energetic and identity mentor, what I've been able to do is support my clients in getting three key areas, getting the things that they desire. Okay, so number one, my clients tend to come and get healthier when they work with me. Okay, I used to be 100 pounds heavier. There are pictures and different things on my TikTok you can run through and run it. So I spent my 20s and my 30s pretty much being like extremely overweight. But I'm 41 and I'm in pretty much the best health that I've been. I'm probably the smallest I've been in my adult life. So that's one thing. Women come to work with me and they get healthier. The second thing that happens is women come to work with me, women begin to master their emotions. And when they begin to master their emotions, meaning master their energy in motion, these women begin to become less impulsive. They begin to become more intentional. They begin to allow themselves access to receive more intimacy and more income. So my clients come and they make more money. That's the third thing. They make more money. I have a client right now that is working, she's close to her 6-figure year. I have a client clients that I've worked with, I've helped go from 5 figures to 6 figures, from 6 figures to multi-6 figures. I myself have built a multi-6 figure business from the ground up myself, okay? And I do not hustle. I teach you how to do business in a way that is aligned with you, okay? I teach you how to do business in a way that is literally operating according to the aligned monetization path for you. Some of you are not meant to exhaust yourself to oblivion at 9 to 5s. I don't believe nobody really is anyway, but that's a whole nother conversation. I'll let you do whatever you feel like you want to do, cook in that area, okay? Thank you for these likes and these gifts. But I believe that if you follow the aligned monetization path for your life, then you will not be overwhelmed and stressed and exhausted. Because I just don't believe that you were created to come here, pay bills, exhaust yourself to oblivion and die. That's what I don't believe that is supposed to be your reality. That's just me. Now, if you think that that's your reality, this probably ain't going to be the life for you. So if you want to learn hustle tactics, no. If you want to learn stuff that's going to make you exhaust yourself into oblivion, no. If you want to chase things and you want to beg, then no, this is not going to be the place for you. But if you want to activate your inner muse, okay? Because I believe that all women are muses. Let's get into it. And a muse is a source of inspiration. And when you inspire people to invest in you. You inspire companies to invest in you. You inspire the opposite sex to invest in you. You inspire corporations. And you just inspire investment everywhere you go. Okay? So it's really important for you to activate your inner muse. Okay? Because it inspires people to invest. But first and foremost, you have to invest in yourself. So I have a 6-week program called the Muse Activator where I support my clients in activating their inner muses so that they are closer and they close the gap between what it is that they actually desire. Okay? Because the thing is, a lot of you don't realize is that there's you and then there's what you desire, right? And you have to close the gap. You have to be an energetic match to be able to receive what it is that you truly want to desire. Really want to have, okay? So if you're saying you want to make more money in your business, that requires you not to be impulsive. So you have to correct the energy around you being impulsive, which really has a root issue to it, but you just haven't figured it out. Most people who struggle in the space of impulsivity struggle to be intentional, which is why they never really hit their goals. And why does that happen? Because a lot of women are not listening to themselves. They're not listening to their intuition. Why? Because you are disconnected from it. Okay? You cannot thrive in this world without being connected to your core. There are 3 things that women should make their priority, okay, if they want to thrive on this earth. Number one, you need to understand spiritual law. Understanding spiritual law will support you in being able to create the reality that you want. I was having a conversation with a client yesterday about changing your mind frame around things happening to you, to things happening for you. And I supported her with doing an activity, and I sent her some things to be able to support her walking through that. When you spend your time in the state of victimhood all of the time, thank you, my love, for these gifts and these likes, then you will always consistently be a victim. You need to understand spiritual law so that you can start using it to create your own reality. For me, that looks like scripture, and everything I teach is rooted in scripture. Science is rooted in scripture, backed up by science, and also backed up by psychology. So all of these things you can go and look up for yourself. I am a person that believes that you should just not take anything that you receive on the internet. You need to go research it and read it for yourself, which is why I'm very thorough about the things that I teach, because I live it. I'm a walking embodiment of what I teach. Everything that I know that's rooted in the scripture, science, and psychology is what has supported me in losing over 100 pounds. It has supported me in creating a $200,000 business online without hustling, okay? It has supported me in being able to attract better community partners and investments. So I'm not telling you anything that I have not walked myself, and I'm not continuing to walk myself. So this is how my clients get the results that they get, okay? Because everything is rooted in that. So number one, you need to understand spiritual law. Number two, you need to understand the science of yourself. A lot of women who make money, or who are, out here getting it and hustling and doing all these things, yeah, they might be able to manifest the money. Yeah, they might be able to get a bag and do this, but they can't sustain it. Why? Because they're exhausted. Well, why are they exhausted? Because they don't understand the science of themselves. You thought you could work like a man. Why did you ever think that? Because society told you that foolishness. But society kept from you the fact that you have 4 phases in your menstrual cycle. Companies that you work for kept from you. The reason why they keep hiring women is because they understand the creative cycles of women, because women don't understand their creative cycles. So just when you down, it's another woman in the building that can pick it up. See, we as women, you got to understand what it is. Everybody wants to be feminine, but nobody understands what it is to be feminine. Let's get into it. Because these words that are created are not just words. Do you understand 9 is a completion number? It's a completion number. Okay? You think about how many months does it take before a child gets here? I'm sorry. How many fruits of the Spirit is it exactly? Isn't it the 9th hour? The 9 is expansive. The 9 is completion. The 9 is a spiritual experience. It nurtures. You cannot operate in your feminine without understanding the feminine, understanding the aspect of yourself. So when you understand that you're not meant to hustle and work and exhaust yourself to oblivion, you get in alignment with the path that you're supposed to be on in regard to how you make money. You have creative and witty inventions in your very being, according to Proverbs 8 and 12. But you choose to listen to society, who tells you that you should hustle and you should work hard, while they continue to play in your face, because none of the richest people in the world worked hard at all. They built these businesses, and they built these ideals, and they built their billions on your back, on your sickness, on your naivete, on your lack of understanding. And it was very, very intentional. And instead of you getting pissed off about it and getting emotional and talking about it online, the only way out of the matrix is to break through the matrix of your own mind first. And you do that by understanding the science of yourself, because then you understand your value. See, when you understand your value, you move different. When you understand your value, you don't allow yourself to sit in spaces where you're not valued. When you understand your value, you amplify that value. You activate that value. You step into the fullness of that value. Hi, Joseph. That is what you do. Thank you for these gifts and these likes. That is what you do. But when you don't understand the science of yourself, you will settle for things that are less than. You will settle for experiences that treat you like crap. You will settle. That is why a lot of women settle. They don't know their value, period. That's really the truth. People stay in scenarios when they don't think they can do better. I don't care what they say. You will know them by their fruit, period. So the second thing a woman has to do in order to thrive on this earth is to understand the science of herself. The third thing is going to be very important for a woman to do if she wants to thrive in this society is that woman specifically is going to have to study. She needs to study the psychology of her lineage. You need to know about the women that came before you. See, a lot of y'all think y'all better than the women that came before you because you have degrees and stuff now. See, a lot of you think that you're better than the women that came before you because you can afford therapy. Therapy is acceptable in your generation. See, a lot of you think that you are better because you've breaking all of these generational curses. But the main curse of low self-esteem, you ain't broke that yet. Because you haven't paid, while you're judging your mother, your grandmother, and the women that came before you for staying with men who mistreated them, you just deal with men who mistreat you in a very different way. Just because they're not knocking your head through a wash and dryer like they may have been doing the women before you, you think that you're better than them. You think all these things about yourself, and you're missing the fact that you have not broken the curse of low self-esteem. You have not broken the curse of understanding your value. But you think that your daughter is going to pick up the torch. You ain't taught her nothing about self-esteem, but you left her a whole bunch of money. You know what she going to do with that money? You know what she going to do with that money? Trick it off on the first one that make her feel valuable. Because see, that's what we do. See, when you don't understand your value and people see your value and make you feel some form of valuable, you just want to keep that, so you're willing to do anything to keep it. But you think you're better than the ones that came before you. You're not. Better wake up. You're not. Get into it. See, this is what I like to talk about. We like to talk about the truth. We want to talk about generational wealth. We need to talk about all of it. Not just the money. See, hey, lovey. See, this is why it's important to study your generational lineage, to ask questions without judgment, to remember that these women that came before you were doing life the first time, just like you, baby. They doing it for the first time too. They doing it for the first time too. And they're doing it based on their perception and their understanding. And if you don't understand that, I don't know what to tell you, because ain't you doing the same thing? But you think you better. Because society taught you to value those degrees and value all the money and value all the things that are temporary instead of closing those doors. Y'all don't be loving y'all children the way y'all be saying y'all love y'all children, because y'all won't close them real doors. Yeah, y'all making more money. But are you closing those doors? So again, if you want to thrive on this earth as a woman, because you are a spirit being having a human experience, and if you are a woman, you are having the feminine experience, or you should be having the feminine experience. But if you want to thrive in the feminine experience and not be wounded in it, or you want to win in the feminine experience, you need to understand, you need to know spiritual law. Okay? So that you learn how to create your own reality. For me, that looks like scripture. Number 2, you need to understand the science of yourself so you stop working against your design. This is why a lot of us are sick in the womb. This is coming from someone who had a 21-year issue, 22-year issue with blood of an irregular cycle. So I ain't telling you nothing that I don't know. Now I'm 41. My cycle comes at max maybe 4 days, maybe. I don't be cramping. I don't have no perimenopause, none of that. I'm 41. It's a lot that goes on in that womb. See, when you understand the science of yourself, you start working with your design instead of against it, like society taught you to. That's if you want to thrive. Because it's hard to thrive in this world when that womb, your wealth creation station, is not creating the wealth it was designed to create. And I ain't just talking about babies. That's only one thing that comes through that portal. See? You got to know yourself. See, when you know yourself, nobody can ever play with you. Number 3, you need to study your lineage. Study the psychology of your lineage so you don't play yourself, okay? That's the way you're going to thrive. And if you can nail those 3 things, I promise you'll stop attracting from chaos. But I'm going to put you on game, though, on attracting from chaos and why you need to stop it and all that kind of stuff. But those 3 things that really support you, that's just a little touch, okay? You're so welcome. All praises to the Most High. So, for those again who are joining, my name is Elle Antoinette. I am an energetics and identity mentor. Okay? And I help you get that together because it matters. At the end of the day, everything is rooted in your energy and motion, your emotions. Okay? And in order to manage your energy and motion, you need to be spiritually grounded and mentally solid. This means no overthinking. This means no living in survival mode. This means none of these things. This means that you are truly operating in the foundational frequency of your femininity, which means faith. See, a lot of y'all are faithless. And that's the truth, meaning that you lack belief. You lack belief in the one that created you, therefore you automatically lack belief in self because you don't know self. You don't see self the way the Most High sees you, the way you were designed. Thank you, my love. You don't see yourself. And until you see yourself, you're gonna always repeat these cycles. Okay? So let's go ahead and get into it. We're talking about stop attracting or stop trying to attract from chaos, and here's why it's not working for you, okay? And I'm not saying none of this stuff that I'm about to say to shame you because we've all been in this space. And what I need you to understand as a woman is that you are a magnet. Your heart is a magnet, okay? And because your heart is a magnet, it's constantly pulling things in. And what you choose to connect with reveals the story that is locked in your subconscious mind, whether you realize it or not. And if you are a woman who has never, retrained your nervous system or reprogrammed your mind, you are still running off the programming of childhood. And if you're still running off the programming of childhood, depending on how you were treated and what your self-esteem was and the value and if you were only clapped or approved of, if you were performing, it really determines how you operate as an adult. And how you do one thing is how you do all things. So if you are not negotiating your salary when you walk into a 9-to-5 and you just take what they offer, I know you taking what you given in relationships too. See, you ain't got no standards over there too, because a standard is a standard, baby. And if you got a standard in life, that standard is the same in relationships, and that standard is the same when it comes down to business. A woman that tells me that she does not negotiate her salary or has not negotiated her salary lets me know that she's not clear on her boundaries. She's not clear on the vision for her life. Because when you're clear on these things, okay, I want this, so I need this amount of money. See what I'm saying? When you clear on the vision, you already know what time it is and what you're going to accept and what you're not going to accept because you know what the vision is overall. But see, a lot of y'all don't have a vision, and without a vision, the people will what? Perish. Again, this is why you should understand spiritual law so you can create your own reality. Without a vision, the people will perish because there's no vision written down. Meaning when you write something down, it becomes law. That means you're operating according to that, which means you're on mission, you're on target. But see, if you don't have a vision, you'll accept anything, which is why women will take any and everything, even when it comes down to relationships. Because they don't have a vision of what they want from marriage. You're too busy visualizing. Thank you, my love, for these follows. Just you're visualizing your wedding day. And as a person who was married, that's the wrong thing you could do, baby. That's the wrong thing you can do. That's the worst thing you can do. So many are focused on the wedding day and you're not prepping for a marriage. And which is why so many people, truthfully, you want to know the truth of why so many people continue to get divorced? The false perceptions of what they thought marriage was. And also the mindset that you're thinking that things are going to change with a title. And let me help you out with something. If you believe that things are going to change with a title of marriage, check on some of these people who say that they are coming in the name of the Most High, that call themselves pastors and preachers and teachers and all of these things. A title does not shape you into who you need to be. You either are that or you're not. You give that energy prior or you don't. See, you don't just start being that with a title. Thank you, my love, for these likes and these gifts. That's not the way it works. And a lot of us are caught up in titles. So the things I say to you today are not to shame you, but truly to set you free, because you are not the problem. I'm not here to be like you're the problem. But the truth of the matter is your signal is the problem. What you're sending out there is definitely the problem. And according to the law of radiation, whatever is within you, baby, it has no choice but to radiate out. As much as you want to portray yourself as being this way and being sweet and I'm so nice and I'm so kind and I'm so good to people and da da da, and I don't know why people mistreat me like that, because you are your first bully. See, a consistent victim normally is their own first bully. Because why do you allow yourself to stay in scenarios where you're treated like that? Why is that your consistent pattern? Where is the standard? Where are the boundaries on your energetic field? Where are they? You are the bully in your life. It is not these people. These people only reflect who you are. They only confirm the story of your subconscious mind that says that you're not worthy of an experience that's peaceful. That's what that says. We need to tell the truth about self. Because the reality of the situation is you always meet yourself. You are never meeting a stranger. You are always meeting a reflection of your mirror. It may be a part of the mirror that you have not cleaned, but it's definitely your mirror. That's why I always think it's so funny when I hear parents say things like, I don't know where they got that from. Hold tight, hold tight. Your children are your teacher and your mirror. Come back. Your children are your teachers and your mirrors. They see you. Those little eyes see you and they don't forget. They come here like a blank piece of paper and you are the permanent marker. Don't get it twisted. They are not confused. You are. And you need to see yourself. Okay? Now let's talk about the hidden cost of chaotic attraction. And when I say chaotic attraction is simply you not getting the desires of your heart. Because don't that say that in scripture? Y'all read that too, right? The Most High will give you the desires of your heart. Why are you not getting them? You ever wondered why? You ever questioned why you weren't getting the desires of your heart? Like, why would the Most High make such a statement like that and turn around and not give you what I'm saying? So let's go ahead and get into that. Let's talk about the hidden cost of chaotic attraction, or getting the opposite of what you claim that you desire, okay? You may be doing the journaling, you may be doing the affirmations, you may be doing the routines, the rituals, all that kind of stuff. You know, you feel like you're treating everybody and doing everybody right. But the truth is, your nervous system is really the bottom line. Now, let me tell you something about nervous systems and how we go into nervous system training, right? When you come here, your nervous system is trained. It's shaped primarily by your home life, okay? If we had a lot of instability growing up, the nervous system recognizes instability as home. This is why you, as an anxious attachment style girly, that you like to identify yourself with, which I don't know why you want to call yourself that, but for those who suffer in that space, this is why you're so attracted and so intrigued by the avoidant. It's because it's the instability, it's the hot, cold, it's the up, down. It's the instability that says, I'm home. Even though it's not good for my heart, even though it's not good for my body, even though it's not good for my mind, I'm home. Because there's been no retraining. There's been no recalibration. This is why you confuse intensity with intimacy. That's not the same thing. This is why you chase fireworks when you really need a fireplace and you really desire a fireplace. But you're chasing fireworks. Because the nervous system recognizes the up, down, up, down, up, down. I'm home. The same thing comes up here when it comes down to reprogramming your mind. If you grew up in a household and you were not poured into and you were told consistently, or insulted consistently and all of these things and made to not feel worthy, this is why you don't really rock the boat as an adult. You accept whatever you're given, but you are internally frustrated and you can't release. So you become hyper independent. You take up everything. Nobody's there. Okay, nobody's gonna do it. I'm gonna go ahead and do it myself. I got it. Da da da. Even though it's it's killing you to carry all that on your back. But you're so scared to drop it because the mind. We haven't reprogrammed the mind. So when we haven't reprogrammed the mind and we haven't recalibrated and retrained the nervous system, we repeat what we know. We repeat what we know. And we continue to hit these cycles until we eventually reprogram or retrain and retrain. Because you got to do both. You got to do both. And that's where women come to me. Because we do both here. Okay? So let's go ahead and get into about your nervous system and what's taking place and what's going on. So a lot of times with your nervous system, when your nervous system is bracing and you're not necessarily breathing, your body is always tight and you give off tight energy, okay? So one thing that you need to remember is that men lie, women lie, okay? Numbers can be crunched, data can be skewed, but energetics never lie, and your energy will always tell on you. That's the one thing that you always have to remember. And I need you to remember this as a woman, especially if you are dealing with the masculine. The masculine is naturally, they're the masters of energy reading. We're not better than them at that. Let me put you on game. Where we win is, we are the masters of intuition. We are not crazy. When we feel something, the math ain't mathing. The math is definitely not mathing. So when we feel the math ain't mathing, the math ain't mathing. When they can sense that the energetics is off, the energetics are off. See, you can't fake energetics because energy is transferable, okay? So you give off this tight energy. Your presence is kind of leaky. You tend to like over-explain or over-function or do all of these different things. Attraction, what I need you to understand is that attraction is a science and it's a mirror, okay? Attraction doesn't happen because you write something down. I know a lot of people are only telling y'all, write it down, law of attraction, you can do this, you can do that. Attraction does not happen because of what you write. Attraction is a science in a mirror. It's literally science. Even when you think about batteries going together, it's science, y'all. And I'm a nerd, so that's my thing. I like the pattern record. I have all of that. But that's my thing. So attraction is a science in a mirror. It doesn't happen because of what you write. It happens because of who you are energetically. It picks up your energetic signature. Every dollar that you chase, every client or person that you have to over-explain to, every man you perform for, every man that you perform for, they're not rejecting to you. They're not necessarily, how can I say this? When you're doing these things, they're not rejecting you. They're rejecting and responding to your signal. The signal that you're putting out there is, use me up until I'm dry. I'm people pleasing, so let me please you. That is the energy that you put out there when you are doing that. When you are chasing money, money is running away from you. When you are over-explaining to somebody, they don't believe you because they feel like you're trying to convince them. And if you don't believe me, look at somebody who's always saying, I'm nice. I'm really a nice person. I'm really a nice person. If you really are that, why do you have to over-explain and over-exert the fact that you're a nice person? I will know you by your fruit. It'll be very evident that you're a nice person, that you're a kind person. So why do you have to reiterate that? You only have to do that when you feel insecure. Again, and if you feel insecure, you come across as you're not steady and you can't be trusted. So again, every dollar you chase, every person you have to over-explain to, every man that you perform for. This is why men become unattracted. They become repelled by you. And I'm just telling you the truth. I am telling you the truth. Men become repelled by you when you do everything for them. I don't care if they tell you, do this for me, it's going to make me feel better. I'm trying to tell y'all something. I want you to really even think about this for yourself. If it was a person in your life who was doing every single thing that you told them to do at any time, any way, all the time, would you really value them? No, you would not. You would take them for granted. And don't tell me you wouldn't take them for granted because you take yourself for granted and the gifts that you have on the inside of you. Because you let the people tell you, you know you're a writer, but you let people tell you that there's no money in writing. When I done made over $200,000 in writing online. So you let somebody tell you that, and you take that. So don't tell me that you not like, oh no, I'm not like that. I'm not. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. When you are overexerting yourself to oblivion for someone, you are not going to be appreciated or respected. You become disgusting to them. They start thinking, what's wrong with you? Why would you let me treat? And I'm going to put you on game on something else. And I had to explain, I was having this conversation with someone the other day. I am a very forgiving individual, right? But at the same time, okay, I will forgive you for things. If you betray me, however, key word, betray me. Betraying me means that there's some form of disloyalty, and loyalty is a value of mine. If you betray me, which means that you have been disloyal, there is no reconciliation between you and I. Ever. Ever. Do you understand what I'm telling you? But I wholeheartedly forgive you. Why is there no reconciliation? One, because it's not required. Say loud. Find somewhere in the scripture where it tell you got to get back. Huh? Nowhere. Nowhere. You understand what I'm telling you? Nowhere. It actually tells you to shake the dust. Okay? Let's get into it. So absolutely not. If you are disloyal in this space to me, there is no reconciliation. You know why there's no reconciliation for me? Because I understand this one key thing that most people don't understand. And if you don't get nothing else from what I'm telling you, catch this. Catch it, clock it, do whatever you need to do. When you allow someone to mistreat you, or you allow someone to when you allow someone to violate a huge boundary of yours and you let them come back into your space. Thank you, my love, for these gifts and these likes. You create subconsciously a neural pathway in their mind that says, I can run the field. And even if they don't want to run the field, in that moment, they feel so sorry about originally running the field. When you open the field back up again, subconsciously, eventually, they're going to run the field. Because in their subconscious mind, unless there is a heavy consequence that came with violating you, they are going to run the play again. And for me, you can't run a 2 play on me. I just ain't gonna have it. So certain things, immediate revoke of access. And I don't have a problem with that. I don't have a problem with that. Women need to understand that you need to protect your energy field better. Because if you let somebody run a touchdown once, no bounds, no boundaries, no nothing, they are going to run it again. It's only a matter of time. If you want to understand certain aspects, understand that aspect of football. Football is not really my thing, but understand that aspect. If it's an open field, it's a reason why people get blocked. You understand what I'm saying? If it's an open field, they're going to run it every time. And that is how you need to be thinking. So you need to be protecting your energy field. It tells you this in scripture. Proverbs 4:23 tells you to guard your heart above everything else because from it flows life. And you need to be treating your heart with the same energy that club owners treat their exclusive clubs when they ain't trying to let y'all in. You need to be feeling like your energy field and your heart space is the best place to be in ever, baby. And you need to be checking and vetting before anybody can come in. I don't know why you're not, especially in 2025. Especially in 2025 and beyond. I told y'all it's the year of the savage. I told you it's the year of community as well. The word of the year is community. You better get them clout chasers out your circle. I had to cut some people off a couple of weeks ago, sweetheart. I'm not even exempt. What you are going to continue to find out in this time frame as time goes on, especially within the next 5 years, you're going to see who is who. Really in the next 2. This one and the next one. So you really have to start paying attention to what is going on because a lot of you are attracting chaos into your space because they're responding to your signal of how you treat yourself. People know when you treat yourself well and you fool with yourself for real. They can tell. People, and how can they tell? Because they know who to play with. They know who to play with. They know who to play with. I walk into rooms. Some people will say, oh, she is so warm. And some people will say, oh my God, I didn't know if I wanted to come and speak to you or not because I feel like you were mean. I'm okay with both of those energies. I'm okay with both of them. You know why I'm okay with both of them? Because both of them are totally fine. These are based on your perception. And if you get that off me, and that means you need to be guarded and coming to me, then yes, I don't have a problem with you watching your step when you come to me. Because something in you is stirred up by me entering into a room. And that used to really bother me. That really used to make me feel like, well, maybe I need to work on this. And it's not even I having a resting face that's, maybe I need to do this. No, I need to be myself. My energy is my energy. If it makes you uncomfortable, that is your responsibility, not mine. That's your issue, not mine. What I do understand is that I do have an energy that awakens. Now, if I awaken something in you that makes you feel uncomfortable, I promise you it's not me. I promise you it's not me. Because I don't have an issue. But I definitely have an awakening energy. I will wake you up. Sometimes without even having to speak. So the thing is this, be very comfortable with your signal and understand that your signal is going to attract and repel. But make sure that you are attracting the things that you want instead of repelling the things that you want. Okay? A lot of you are doing the switch and you need to switch it around. A lot of you are attracting the things that you do not want, but you are repelling the things that you truly desire. We need to switch that back. We need to turn it around. Okay? So in order to turn that around, we have to pay attention to what is happening internally that is radiating out, that make people feel like, yeah, this is it. Okay? We have to get into that. So like I said, every dollar you chasing, every person you're trying to over-explain to, every man you performing for, it's not that they're rejecting you. But, when you keep doing all this stuff, you don't know why people treat you. They're responding to your signal. Your signal says you don't care about yourself. You don't value yourself. Thank you, my love, for these gifts and these likes. It says you don't value yourself. That's what you're sending out. Because a person who values themselves would not allow themselves to be dishonored and disrespected. That's scripture. You ought to love your neighbor as you love yourself, but I love him. You don't. You don't, baby. You don't. You do not love him. What you love is what you believe that you were getting in that experience, and you really weren't getting anything in that experience because you weren't loving yourself. You are your first example. If this is your signal, if you constantly have people in your space that keep coming, if your signal is on survival, that's all you're going to attract, more survival. Women want to know, why do I keep attracting men that come into my space who just want to use me? Dun, 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 dun. You're not catching it yet. You ain't caught that yet? You're moving like ain't no love in the world. You're moving off survival mode. See, y'all doing the same thing. You a mirror to that man. He wants your money. You're trying to survive, be in survival mode around love. He in survival mode so he could survive and get money. It made sense to him. So he act like he was going to give you some love and you was going to give him money. Because that's where you're coming from. You're desperate for love. But you're only desperate for love because you don't love self. See, when you don't love self, you're desperate for love and you'll outsource love. And this is why you attract narcissists. Because narcissists outsource power as well. Love is a power source. And because you're trying to outsource love, which is one power source, and he's trying to outsource power just in general, control, which is another power source, right? A forceful one. So y'all meet up, y'all match, and y'all get what y'all get. And when they get tired and they have no more control from the supply, what do? They go get another one. But they set up the next supply. Why they still trying to control you? Yeah. That's because you were trying to outsource love. You can't outsource love. You have to be love and then you attract love. That's the way it goes. You have to be love to yourself, and then people come into your space and they add more love to what you already have going on. But if you have nothing going on, you will solely depend on their love, and that's dangerous. That's dangerous because you shouldn't do that, not even just because, this person can leave you. That person could die. Like, why are we out here acting like everybody got forever? I understand that people like to use the word, but there's nothing on this earth that is forever. Everything has an expiration date. So why are you treating this like this the last you about to ever have in your life? Why are you doing that? Why? It makes absolutely no sense. If your signal is survival, that's all you're going to attract. Survival. It's survival. And I know y'all tired of that. For the women who are in that space, I know you're exhausted from that. Let's talk about how chaos keeps you undervalued, okay? Here's what chaos looks like. Because a lot of people don't understand what chaos actually looks like. Over-explaining to prove your worth. I know my worth. You treat me like this. I do this. I do that. I do this. Performing. And guess what, baby? Not everybody claps at the end of every performance because not everybody values your show. Not everybody claps at the end of every show. Not everybody thinks every show is entertaining or good or meets their approval. And see, the horrible thing about people pleasing is this. Man is never pleased, which is why you should not be pleasing them. You're supposed to be pleasing the one that created you. It's an oxymoron anyway for you to be pleasing God and man. But hey, whatever. Do what you want to do. I'm just saying. Over explaining to prove your worth and to prove your value. Let me tell you something. I am not an attorney. I am not an attorney, so I don't argue my case. And I doggone sure don't speak on when it comes down to my value, baby. You see the material. If you see the material and you don't value the material, then guess what? You don't get access to the material. Point blank, period, the end. I'm not explaining anything. Silk doesn't have to explain what it's going to give you and the feeling that you're going to feel when the fabric is against your skin. Beauty doesn't have to explain. This over-explaining to prove your value comes from a place of insecurity. Cut it. And your insecurity comes from your beliefs, because out of your beliefs, okay? Out of your beliefs comes security and insecurity. And it is your beliefs that impact your biology, and your biology that influences the way that you behave. That's why when you thought you were pregnant, you were throwing up that time. And then when you took the test, you stopped throwing up, didn't you? Why? Because you weren't pregnant. That's how powerful your brain is. It believes. It doesn't have a sense of humor. It believes exactly what's going on. You think you're pregnant? Okay, we're pregnant. We're throwing up. Everything you think you know and been trained to know about pregnancy, you're about to exhibit that in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay? This is why it's important to retrain your brain. This is why reprogram your mind. This is why it's important to retrain your nervous system. Because belief impacts biology, and biology influences the way you behave. Just imagine if you believed you were a queen for real. Would you really deal with peasants? Would you really eat crumbs? Would you really eat crumbs? I don't think you would. Would you really be scraping the bottom of the barrel thinking that, okay, yeah. Here's what chaos also looks like. Thank you for these follows and these likes. Posting from panic, not from power. This is for those who operate in, who work on business or who are in content creating or who have online businesses. You're posting because you're scared that TikTok is going to kick you out and you're going to be out of the algorithm. So you're trying to post to consistently get this up. I just want to post so this can happen. Post so this can happen. I need this to happen. I have to post so I can do this. And you're not posting from power. Y'all will force content just to be on an FYP. When in reality, if you post it from power, your freaking content would soar. You wouldn't have to worry about an algorithm. It would move on its own. Because here's the truth. When you're posting from kingdom, because there is no loss, lack, or failure in the kingdom, let me tell you something. I have not posted for a while, and then I turn around and post a video, and that video go viral. All because I was posting in obedience. And I've also posted videos like, oh, let me make sure I stay in the algorithm. And that thing sitting like this on 0. Do you understand that you are a messenger? And when you are a messenger, you channel the message. You don't chase the algorithm, sweets. Because what is the algorithm to the almighty algorithm? Let's get into it. What is this measly social media algorithms? What are they in comparison to the almighty algorithm? Truthfully, what real power do they have? Really make it make sense. Thank you so much, my love. What sense does it make? What sense does it make? That needs to shift. Here's also what chaos looks like, okay? Pricing, and this is really going to keep a lot of y'all in a chokehold if y'all don't shift this. Pricing, okay, from a space of, how can I say this? Or what's the best way to say it? I mean, just fear. Pricing from fear instead of frequency. Why are you charging so low? Because people can't afford that right now in this economy. People can't afford that right now in this economy. People can't afford that right now in this economy. Oop! Sorry, y'all. I had to move this. Okay, there we go. I'm going to fix this. I put this phone so it didn't charge. People spending money. People spending a lot of money. I just had a conversation with my homegirl because I was out of town with her. She just hit 25K month. Her first 25K month. And y'all say there ain't no money out here. Who said that? Who said your client can't afford your price point? Who told you that? Your client didn't even tell you that because you didn't even show up to ask them to see if that even worked. You told yourself that. You know why you feel like that and you want to discount your price? Because you always looking for a bargain. You always looking for a deal. You always looking for the shortcut. You always looking for something small. You always looking for that. And because you are looking like that, and because you are operating like that, that's why you attracting it. Mm-hmm. That's why you thinking in your mind like that. You are the cheap one. You are the one that's always doing this. So you think your client cheap, and that's your problem. Right there. If it's cheap, one is period. If it's cheap, one assumes it's cheaply made. And here you out here shortchanging yourself because you want to be affordable. Girl, don't get on my nerves. Don't get on my nerves. Because you ain't going to go get a person asking if it's affordable. You're not doing that. So why are you doing that why are you so cheap when it comes down to you? Why do you want to discount yourself from the experience, from a quality experience? Make it make sense. Here's another thing, chaos, what it looks like. Entertaining men who can't even hold what you are. I'm going to say it again. I'm going to say it 3 times because I need that one to really set and sizzle in your spirit. Entertaining men who can't even hold what you are. Entertaining men who can't even hold what you are. Entertaining men who can't hold even what it is that you actually are. Stop entertaining potential. Okay? Potential, I want to explain. Let's have a science lesson. Y'all know I'm a nerd, so let's get into it, okay? Potential energy, I want you to think about a record. It's just sitting there. It's big as hell. You're looking at it like, oh my God, this is so huge. You're walking past, you're like, wow, this is so big. But it's just sitting there. But you're amazed at how big it is and like, wow, this is crazy. This is nuts. I can't believe this is so close to me. It's so big. And it ain't doing nothing. Dang, ain't gonna do nothing. It's just a big old rock just in there, nothing. A big nothing. A big nothing. Do you hear what I'm saying? A big nothing. Okay? Now, a big nothing. Okay? Now, you're going to get into the record with the ball and you're going to push the button. Okay? Now the ball is swinging and it hits the wall and everything falls down. That is kinetic energy. That is the energy in motion. That means it is picked up movement. We like movement. You understand what I'm saying? We like consistent movement when it comes down to the men, okay? Because consistent movement means that there is consistent results. So if you're seeing results, because we're creatures of habit now, if you're seeing results and you don't like the results of what you're seeing, you need to get from around there. But especially you need to get from around there. If you just see a ball sitting there, a ball of nothing, a big powerful ball of nothing is nothing. Okay? Leave nothing where it's at. That's the potential energy. Remember what I told you. A wrecking ball. Potential energy is just sitting there. Kinetic energy is in motion. It's in movement. We like movement. Okay? Stop dealing with people who desire you, but have no desire to be devoted to you. Do you hear what I'm telling you? Stop dealing with people. specifically men, that desire you, but lack the ability to be devoted to you. Because those men are the ones that are going to drain you. And if that has been your experience, that is why. This is why. Well, if you don't want me, why you don't do me? You don't want me. He desires you. You're meeting a need. Right now, at the current moment, like, you fit right now. Why would I leave you alone? I get to do what I want to do. I get to get this. Why would I do that? Why? This is why I say again, you are the one who puts the boundaries on your energy field. You are the one that gets to say, desire doesn't matter without devotion. Because desire without devotion is going to drain me. Desire without devotion is a detriment to me. Desire without devotion is dead syndrome. It's a real thing. Better wake up. Broken heart syndrome is a real thing. I knew somebody who died from it. Don't play. Desire without devotion will drain you. And it will put you in a position for an early demise. So all that back and forth toxic playing and, oh, just doing it. That stuff is toxic, is by definition, a slow poison. And it does slowly poison you because when you consistently allow yourself to be in toxic cycles, it destroys your organs. And this is why a lot of women have issues. They don't realize those bad relationships you in, they cause womb issues. You ain't know? You didn't know? Chaos does not produce anything but more chaos. And you really need to think about that. So your internal environment is going to always, your external environment is always going to reflect your internal environment. Okay? He said my uncle died of a broken heart as well. It's horrible. That's right. It's really rough. We are called to guard our heart above everything else. People, let me tell you, and I've talked about this before. Women by nature, if they don't rise above their nature, they're naturally dark manipulative. Men who don't rise above their nature are naturally dark exploiters. So if you don't guard your heart above everything else, because from it flows life, then you position yourself to be played. When truthfully, nobody can play you without your permission, your participation, or the fact that you simply aren't paying attention. Just being honest. Seriously. Nobody is consistently playing you. You're playing yourself because you don't pay attention. You either give them permission or you're consistently participating. You have to see where you're fitting in line. But that requires you to assess yourself, and a lot of people don't want to assess themselves. They don't. And the crazy part about it is a lot of you are aware of what's actually happening. A lot of you are aware of what's happening. And I was having this conversation with my client yesterday. A lot of women feel like they're so self-aware when in reality, self-awareness is not your problem. You lack soul awareness, sweetheart. Hello. And that's why the women come see me. All that self-awareness and you still ain't doing nothing different. All that knowledge and you ain't doing nothing but having arguing points, good talking points and conversations to make you feel like you smart with all that knowledge. All that knowledge and still no implementation or application. Child, please. It's because you have no soul awareness. The soul is comprised of the mindset, the heart set, and your willpower, sweetie. So to know something and to do nothing means nothing. You're not wise. You just got a lot of book knowledge. That's all. But where is your implementation? Where is the fruit of what it is that you so-called know? This is why some people will have illnesses and can tell you everything about the illness and everything about what you need to do to get themselves on track, but they won't do a doggone thing to position themselves to get better. Crazy work, ain't it? Soul awareness. What's blocking you in the mind to where you can't get there? What's blocking you in the heart to where you can't get there? What's the disconnect in your willpower of why you can't get there? These are the questions you need to be answering. And this is why women come to work with me. Because we not only get those answers, but we close those gaps. And we lock those doors. Okay? Because it makes a difference. So with all of this stuff that I said, over-explaining to prove your worth, posting from panic and not power, pricing from fear instead of frequency, and entertaining men who can't even hold what you are. That's why nothing feels enough. That's why your money don't feel enough. You make enough money. That's why the attention that you're getting in some is not satisfying, because you don't feel enough. You don't feel enough. If you don't accept you, how can someone else accept you? How can someone else accept you? You don't feel like you enough because your energy is scattered, not sovereign. That's the truth. It's scattered, it's not sovereign. You're not attracting, you're performing. You're performing. Code switching is performing. People pleasing is performing. Overextending is performing. Overthinking is performing. All of these things are aspects of performances. And all of it is rooted in fear. There's different elements of fear. And let me tell you this with love. Love and a little bit of strictness, okay? Performance is exhausting. You're not going to be able to do it. This is why they're building robots. Y'all can't outperform these robots. Y'all get that, right? You can't perform or outperform these robots. Performing is exhausting. That's why a lot of y'all are tired. You've been acting. You've been following the pathway that society told you that you should go on. And now you realize at the end of the rainbow, ain't no gold. Ain't no gold. So now, let's get into it. Just that I'm ready. Well, I don't know what the emoji says. I'm screaming. I can't see the emoji. But performance is exhausting, okay? Magnetism is ease. And so what I support my clients in doing is being able to come into my centers and my containers. I'm going to say about my center because I'm reopening one of my centers so y'all can come in. I'm really excited. I'm only taking 10 people. It's going to be so much fun. I'm opening the Sacred Feminine League again. And we're starting on the 7th. You ready to work with me? Yes, girl. Okay, we're going to talk about that in a second. Because I want you to see if you're coming into the center or if you're coming into the container. And then I have a calibration. So it's 3 ways to kind of work with me. So I'm bringing back the Sacred Feminine League, which I'm really excited about. For the women who are in the Sacred Feminine League, they already know what time it is. I'm going to be doing it for the next 6 months because, y'all, I told y'all this half of the year is finna turn up. The summer already came in swinging. So I have some more stuff I want to talk to y'all. And I need to talk to y'all off these apps. You know what I'm saying? Like, I get to talk to my clients off that. I need to talk to y'all off these apps. Because I can't say what I be wanting to say about what I will be going on outside of stuff. So I like to have my clients prepared, okay? So I'm going to be talking a lot more about that. But hold tight, okay? So, but anywho, magnetism is ease, okay? And the real work is regulation before radiation. So the law of radiation states that whatever is within you is going to radiate out, right? If you don't like your external environment, your external quality of life experience, then we need to change what's happening on the inside. And in order to do that, you have to regulate first. One of the major things that I teach is emotional regulation, okay? So you don't need better marketing. You don't need to really go and jump and do all this crazy stuff. You need a body that can hold what it is you say that you want. If you say that you want steady, you're going to have to retrain your nervous system to receive steady. Let me tell you something, too, that I need you to really grasp. Women who have issues in these 3 key areas, impulsivity issues in these 3 key areas, have issues around the energetics. If you are impulsive when it comes down to your meals, how you eat, okay? If you are an emotional eater or if you're an impulsive eater, I got to get something sweet. I got to do meals. If you are an impulsive spender, money get in your hand, it's hot, you got to go do something. If you are impulsive to hop, skip, and jump into relationships with men, meals, money, men. Okay? Meals, money, men. Most women, when they come to work with me, their issues are around all of this. It's rooted in how you manage your energetics, okay? Your emotions are energy in motion, literally, right? All the energy in motion within your body either, allows your organs to flourish or it either attacks your organs. When you allow certain emotions or energy emotions to sit in your body for a long period of time, it begins to ruin your organs. For example, I'm going to take this. I told you everything I teach comes from scripture, science, and psychology. Let me go and give you the math. It tells you in scripture that you are not to give anger a foothold, okay? What a lot of women don't realize is if you hold on to that anger, you are going to ruin your liver. There's a connection between anger and your liver. The liver has over 300 functions that it does in the body. Okay? A lot of women hold on to anger in their liver, and then they start having cycle issues because your liver plays a huge role when it comes down to your cycle. There is a book by Dr. Louise Hay, and I don't know if she's a doctor, but it's Louise Hay for sure. And it says, you can heal your body. One of the roots that she talked about with diabetes was most people who have diabetes, they see life like there's no sweetness left in life. Like the sweet taste of life have left their mouth. And so basically they just kind of like stuff down and eat their sweets because they can't manage anything else but themselves. But that, right? So what ends up happening though, when there is no sweetness in your life, what is one of the signs or symptoms or things that happens with diabetes? Your liver gets messed up. Everyone knows someone who has diabetes and it's gone too far to where they've gone blind. Holding on to the lack of sweetness or the pain and the anger and the resentment in your life can literally cause blind rage to where you go blind. Your liver is what supplies nourishing blood to your eyes, which is why when you have an illness like diabetes, it attacks the liver. Okay? These are things that we really need to pay attention to. This is telling you this in scripture, to not let anger get a foothold. It also tells you in scripture not to worry. Why? Because worry weakens your immune system. How does it weaken your immune system? Specifically, it weakens your spleen. And once it weakens your spleen can no longer work with your stomach. And when the spleen can no longer work with the stomach because it is off track, you are now having issues when you go to the bathroom. So now you go to the doctor 6 months later because you can't quite figure out what's going on with your stomach. And the doctor says you have irritable bowel syndrome, which is basically a collective of symptoms that people have when worry is your root issue. Because worry weakens your immune system, which is why one of the things that they tell you when you get is, oh, you need to lower your stress. Oh, you need to eat this. Oh, you need to eat that. But see, if you got to the root of your worry, you would not need to stress eat. And if you understood the design of yourself, you would eat according to your design, according to the 4 phases of your cycle. Therefore, you would not need to stuff your face because why? You will be satiated when you eat every meal because you are eating nutritiously dense. Okay? So all of these things matter. You're eating nutrient-dense meals, so you're satiated, you're fuller longer, your body is functioning properly hormonally. Guess what? You on track. Thank you, my love, for these gifts and these likes. But see, when you don't have control of your energy and motion, you throw your body out of balance. With the things that you eat, the things that you allow energetically, all of these things, you throw your entire body out of balance. And this is what throws the womb out of balance. Okay? And if you already have some genetic underlying issues with going on within your womb, then it is going to exacerbate that and bring it to life. Okay? So these are the things that we really need to pay attention to. You have to regulate. You have to regulate. It makes a difference. Regulate before you radiate. So regulate before you speak. Regulate before you radiate. Get yourself together, okay? When your nervous system is steady, your presence is going to position you in sale before your words even have to come through your mouth, okay? If you're in business. When your nervous system is steady, your intimacy deepens, okay? Without you even having to get naked. I'm going to say that for you one more time. When your nervous system is steady, okay, your intimacy deepens and you don't even have to get naked. When your nervous system is steady, your power is felt, not seen. Magnetism begins literally when urgency stops. Okay? If your energy is fragile, your results are going to be fragile. Basically, if your energy is frantic, prepare. And honestly, we don't have time for fragile anymore. We don't have time for it. The best way to track it is to look at the moon. I teach my clients how to do that specifically. You should not be relying on apps. You should not be relying on external systems that you do not own to track what's going on with you. I'm going to say it again. You should not allow external apps to carry your information to track what's going on with you. You should be able to be in tune with yourself and with nature to where you will know as the moon phases go on exactly where you are in your cycle. And that's something specifically that I teach. Okay? So let's get into why this is vital right now. You got to stop attracting from chaos and from these spaces, okay? We're heading into a time right now because we're in June 2025. The world is loud. The economy is unstable. Relationships are extremely transactional. And influence, it's cheap if it ain't clean. It's cheap if it ain't clean. Women who do not or who refuse to recalibrate their power, they're going to burn out trying to hold everything together. All that trying to hold everything together, that's going to crack real fast. Because I'm telling y'all, they're not done smacking you in the face with things. You think this is over? You think it's a game? Oh, I can't say what I want to say. But I'm going to say it to my community, though. It's not a game, y'all. I promise it's not a game. It's really, really not a game. The women who don't recalibrate their power are going to burn out trying to hold everything together because you're going to get exposed, baby. You ain't going to be able to hold it together. And what's the women who do hold it together, though, they're going to be able to attract, they're going to be able to lead, and they're going to be able to thrive without breaking. They're going to be able to thrive without breaking because they are rooted in the understanding of spiritual law, understand the science of themselves. They've studied their generational psychology, baby, so they're not easily shaken or stirred. See, they're prepared for what's happening because they can hear. See, when you're connected to your core, the Most High will never let you get tricked or sideswiped. I remember I was dealing with someone and I was kind of dating this person for a while, right? And in the beginning, I felt like very free when I was dating them. But let me tell you how amazing the Most High is and why I'm always in tune with the Most High. And I always ask questions, okay? So I always ask the Most High. I always ask the Most High about everybody. Anybody who wants to be in my space, I'm asking about you. Because I want it to be revealed. So I have been, dating this person. It was a good while. We were good. Like, everything was fine. And then one day the person called me and as their name came across my screen, I got butterflies in my stomach. And I said, uh-oh. Oh, no. Something's wrong. Immediately. Everything had been perfect. Everything had been cool. And all of a sudden, it was like, and I said, oh, no. And then I was like, okay, noted. Person called me the next day. I felt it again, even harder. I said, oh, I'm in danger. They did something wrong. Okay, got it. This finna come to an end. Just like that. Got it. This finna come to an end. The next day, I found out that person had done something, literally, against me. I literally found out the next day that person had done something against me. And I just completely disconnected. No issue, no problem. When you are in tune with self, I don't care how long you've been dealing with somebody. When the math stop mathing and something get off, the Most High will let you know that something is off. And it was so easy for me to detach. And the person was like, no, you tripping. No, you doing this. Like, what you doing this? I said, this is me. I'm going to tell you exactly what I said. I said, no, I'm not tripping. I'm not even mad, truthfully. It's unfortunate that you felt like that's what you needed to do. And it was like, well, no, we need to do this. And I said, let me explain something to you. I said, I'm only going to say this one time, too. I said, and after that, I'm not going to say anything else because the conversation is going to be over. You deserve somebody who is going to accept and respect you. I am neither. And I need you to understand what I'm saying to you in this moment. I am neither. We don't align. We do not share values. And this is over with. And my homegirl was like, how do you be doing it? Let me tell you something. I understand my value. Quality women always have options. People are seeking me all over is how my mindset is. And everywhere I go, there's always someone willing and ready. And that's always my experience. So I am never lacking. So if I got to drop you off, I know something else is coming. I'm not attached to anything of this world, sweetheart. Nothing. Because I already own nothing. I'm not attached to anything. So, hi, Lovey. So, absolutely not. See, I don't need an explanation of, oh, this and that. I'm not. No. When you are in tune, the Most High will make sure you hear what it is that you need to hear, and so that you can do what you need to do. You just make sure that you're in position to hear. You just make sure that when it's time to do, you do, and don't make no excuses. See, this is where your faith come in at. I don't mind. Because nobody can play me. See, if I would have stayed and playing, I'd have been playing myself. Nobody can play you without your permission, your participation, or the fact that you simply aren't paying attention. The Most High always going to tell you if you ask. See, a lot of y'all don't ask because you don't want to be told no. Because you think that's what you want so bad. Child, please. I don't want nothing that's going, no. If it ain't right, if it ain't aligned, it ain't mine. Period. If it ain't aligned, it ain't mine. So, like I said, if you don't operate from the space of regulating, before you radiate, you're going to struggle to keep it all together. Okay? So this whole, I'm going to just be doing, no. You need to be very intentional with how you're attracting. This isn't optional anymore. Clean power is currency in the next era. It is. Because celebrity culture is dying. So the people who are going to be rising up are the people who are going to be operating in full spiritual integrity, because those people that they're just the experts, and AI can't touch them. Because see, AI is never bigger than the Almighty. And the Almighty is still going to be exhibiting power through the elect. And so you're going to make some decisions about what you're going to be doing with yourself. Can you hear so you can operate? Or are you going to be submitting to, the spiritual structure that is true, or are you going to be submitting to these systems that intend for you to be a slave? But all of it starts with the freedom that you develop within your mind. Okay? This is very, very important. So in the Muse Activator, which is my 6-week program, I have one more spot for this. Somebody asked me for this spot, and I'm actually going to go back and check and see if she got this spot. Y'all might be out of luck. But I got one more spot for $9.97. I have 7 women that are enrolled right now. They've all enrolled within the past 3 weeks. So I have 7 women currently in the program. There's another young lady. There are 2 young ladies who are inquiring, but there's one who asked me specifically today, so I think she might be coming in. But if she don't, I have one more spot for that $197. No, for that $9.97, because that price point is going up to $1,500. So in the Muse Activator, which is a 6-week program, we teach you, or we don't teach necessarily attraction. We teach rewiring it. We teach regulating it. We teach, we build it at the source. So you don't have to chase anything. You literally draw in. That's what we do in the Muse Activator. Now, if you're not ready for that level of depth and ready to fully embody, then you might want to start with the Sacred Feminine League. Okay, so the Sacred Feminine League is going to open back up on July 7th. Okay, the Sacred Feminine League is a membership that I have. It is $197. The first 5 women that come in, I'm only taking 10 women. The first 5 women that come into the Sacred Feminine League will get the price point of $165 a month. So you can come in under that, but in order to get that, you have to DM me the word sacred. So what that's going to look like is you're going to get a private Telegram group with your community in the Sacred Feminine League. All 10 of y'all will be in a Telegram group. I'm always going to be in Telegram talking to y'all weekly, okay? You're going to get access to a video vault of different things to be able to support you. And we're going to meet bi-weekly. So we're going to meet twice a month. So we're going to meet We're going to meet in group and twice a month, and then the other weeks you're going to be talking in Telegram. So we make sure that you get yourself in a space of centered and reset. So the difference between, or let's just say, how can I describe it with, hold on, I'm sorry, I lost my thing, and I want to make sure I don't want to get too far so I can go back. Okay, so in the Sacred Feminine League specifically, we're going to focus on monthly themes. And you know what, I'm gonna open my computer so I can tell y'all themes of what we focus on in the league. I opened the league last year, and then I had closed the league because I needed to focus more so on bringing in the muses. But now it's time to bring back the Sacred Feminine League, and I'm really excited about it because a lot of women have been asking about it. So this is about to be fun. So let me go ahead and give y'all the breakdown. Scroll up, scroll up, scroll up. Because how long? Let's see. Okay, here we go. So here are the monthly themes, okay? So the monthly themes, number one, the first month, which is going to be in July, is returning to the root, is nervous system grounding and releasing survival-based success. The second month is going to be soft power reset. We're reclaiming emotional authority without becoming aggressive. Magnetism over motion is the third one. Stop chasing, start radiating. Structure for the sacred, gentle order that supports expansion. Voice and visibility, being seen without leaking your life force, because a lot of women don't know how to manage themselves without overextending. And then receiving without rupture, which is expanding your capacity to hold love, success, and money. Okay, so those are the things that we're going to focus on in the Sacred Feminine League. So I want to make it very clear that this is not the this is not the Muse Activator, but it is a membership. The Muse Activator is completely different, or it's a step up. I would say the best way I could describe it is your starting point. The Sacred Feminine League would be a center, right? Sacred Feminine League would be a center. The Muse Activator would be a container, if that makes sense. So if you're just starting out and you're trying to figure out and you're trying to get yourself in a space of being in line with your authentic feminine energy, you don't want to be exhausting yourself to oblivion. You're tired of the performance. You're tired of all those things. You want to come out of that. Then you want to come into the Sacred Feminine League. You can go from the Sacred Feminine League into the Muse Activator. Most women do. Most of the women who came into the Sacred Feminine League last year are now in the Muse Activator, or either were in the Magnetic Muse when I was running the Magnetic Muse as well. So they normally transition up. But that is a great start, because I don't be doing master classes as much anymore. So for you to be able to access me, the best way is for you to come into one of those programs, either the Sacred Feminine League, which is $197. But if you are one of the first 5 who signs up, then you get it for $165 a month. Or you can pay it flat out and get the entire time frame. Or you can get paid up for 3 months, where I think you can get it for like $555. So it just kind of has your options of what you want to do. So if you're interested in the Sacred Feminine League, where we meet twice a month and you get access to me, and we get to talk about the things that I don't get to talk about on here. Because though I give a lot of value here in this space, that's very transformational and very supportive, and have supported women in making money and doing a whole bunch of other different things. If you want the fullness of the transformation, then you're going to have to work with me in a space outside of being online, because you're not going to get everything you need on here, because I cannot say everything I want to say on here, or without facing consequence. Okay, so if you're interested in the Sacred Feminine League, shoot me the word sacred, and what I'm going to do is send you a payment link. The payment link is for, if you're one of the first 5, the payment link is going to be for $165. If you're one after that, it's going to be for $197. Once you make your payment link, you're going to get your email. You're going to start getting all your stuff on 7/1, but you're going to get your initial email when you start, okay, when you pay. So you would DM me the word sacred. If you're interested in that last spot for the Muse Activator, which I'm about to go check my mail now to see if the other young lady responded, then DM me the word Muse. I'm going to send you the payment link. You take care of the payment link. I will send you your contract, with the Muse Activator. As soon as you get your contract and you sign your contract, you're going to get your pre-work. As soon as you get your pre-work and you start working on that, you're going to get your Muse codes. The Muse codes are things that you have to complete before coming into the program. It is an initiation process. It's 7 days of Muse codes. Every single day, I'm giving you a code to be able to crack that's helping you start the process of activating your inner Muse. Very powerful codes. The 7 days, the women have been talking about it in my community, how powerful it is. They're vocal codes. So what it is that I'm sending you an email every day for 7 days, and there's a vocal audio attachment to it where I'm supporting you in breaking in or becoming initiated into this code space. Okay, so yeah, you're gonna send me that, get your Muse codes, and then you'll get access to the community, the Telegram. You're gonna get an accountability partner and all that great stuff. So yeah, If you're interested in the muse, send me the word muse. If you're interested in sacred, send me sacred. Don't send me nothing unless you're prepared, because I'm only asking for seeking, not asking. I'm only seeking women who are ready to start the process, not women who are playing, okay? So, what questions do you guys have for me? That's basically everything that I have today. You gotta chill on this attracting from chaos, y'all. It's gonna hurt you in the long run, and it's blocking your cash flow, okay? So what questions do you have? Drop your questions in the comments. If you don't have any questions, I'm gonna get on down, because I done got hungry, child, so I gotta go find me some food now. Drop your questions in the comments, if any. Oh goodness, I didn't even do that. Is chaos uncontained good? I'm not sure what you mean. You'd have to clarify a little bit with that. Oh yeah, yes, definitely. It's a time and a place for it, just not in the aspect of your life and attraction. Chaos, most definitely it has its time and place. That's why I say even like anger has its time and place. It's not anything necessarily wrong with anger. It's about having anger stored in your body. And a lot of times women have things stored in their body because they're not releasing properly during the menstrual phase of their cycle. You're supposed to be releasing things spiritually, mentally, emotionally that don't align, because you're already releasing physically. But a lot of women don't do that. So you carry pain from month to month to month to year to year to year to year. And then you wonder why we got all this locked up tension in your womb and all that kind of stuff. Like, yeah, that's a real thing. And I support my clients in being able to unlock all of that and release all of that. But chaos in its pure form is not necessarily the problem. It's the aim. And it's about where. And attracting from chaos is too deadly and dangerous. You're welcome. You're welcome. All right, y'all. I'm about to get off here. Happy Feminine Friday. I'm going to go find me some food. I think I'm going to go eat with my friend or my sister, somebody if I call them. Because I don't feel like cooking today. Because I cooked like Big Mama yesterday, baby. I was throwing down. So... yes. I honestly came across your live several times, but I wasn't ready. I did some work on my own. Thank you, Discovery. You appreciate this. No problem. Happy Feminine Friday. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. But I'm ready for you now. Come on. Now is the time. And I'm going to tell you something. Now is the time, too. Because as you notice, at first I was doing a lot of masculine. I'm getting tighter and tighter and tighter with my access. And it's the reason why, y'all, stuff is coming. It's already here. And I want the women who are connected to my obedience are gonna win, because what I guarantee you is that I'm gonna ask the Most High. I'm gonna seek the Most High's face. I'm not gonna speak on my own accord, especially when it comes down to where we are now. I'm just not going to do that. She said, Cynthia DM, awesome. I'm just not going to do that. Right now, community is very important. And if you are the smartest one in your room and you know that you need to be in like-minded community, you need to stop playing. Even if it's not working with me, I don't care if you don't work with me, truthfully, because the Most High always supplies. It's never about anyone's money for me. The Most High takes care of me. My concern is the regret that a lot of people are going to feel because they didn't move, because they doubt themselves and they doubt what they're hearing. And please don't do that. So wherever you're supposed to be, whatever it is you're supposed to be doing, please make sure you're getting active. If you're supposed to be working with me, baby, get in the room, because things are going to change about how to access me. So I love y'all to pieces. Okay. I hope that y'all have an amazing weekend. Happy Feminine Friday. Actually, the Lord spoke to me this morning before I heat for all praises. The Most High always knows the timing in the hour. The Most High knows. Always in the Most High's timing. So I'm excited. I'm going to check my DMs. Then I'm going to go get me something to eat. Remember, self-care is a key fundamental of every single relationship, because you set the tone of how people treat you by the way you treat yourself. You should treat yourself exceptionally well, because you deserve it. But if you don't believe that you deserve it, I'm not going to argue with your perception of self. I'm just going to challenge you to really ask yourself where you got the perception from. Okay? So again, my name is Elle Antoinette. I'm a energetics and identity mentor. And I thank you so much for your time. I'm very, very grateful. I hope that y'all have an amazing weekend. Peace, y'all.